before we close for the day. Senate Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues. With all the due considerations, I would like to propose that the second order of the day with the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters on the screening of the following persons for appointment as chairman and member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Number 1, Engineer Ahmed Kadi Amshi, chairman, Yobe State, Northeast. Number 2, Babagana Modu, member, Borno, Northeast. Number 3, Senator Abubakar Tutari, member, Taraba, Northeast. Number 4, Hakim Akamo, member, Lagos, Southwest. Number 5, Tunrayo Akintomide, member, Ondo, Southwest. Number 6, Atanomeyo Wori Francis, member, Delta, South-South. Number 7, Engineer Basi Etu, member, Akwa Ibom, South-South. Number 8, Hon Biliaminu Yusuf Shinkafi, member, Zamfara, Northwest. Number 9, Sani Saidu Kazaure, member, Jigawa, Northwest. Number 10, Senator Julius Ucha, member, Ebonyi, Southeast. Number 11, Nnamdi Anyechi, member, Imo, Southeast. Number 12, Awolu Aliu Ohindase, member, Kogi, North Central. Number 13, Mu'azu Ishaq, member, Nasarawa, North Central. Distinguished senators will recall that the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 18 December 2019. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Ibrahim Shekarau, chairman of the committee, to move a motion for the presentation and the consideration of the report.
Distinguished Senator Ibrahim Shekarau.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished senators, I am Ibrahim Shekarau, representing Kano Central. Mr. President, I wish to move that this Senate receives and consider the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service in respect of a screening exercise carried out by the committee for the appointment of chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission. I so move, Mr. President.
I need a second. Senator Ibukule Amosu.
Mr. President, Ibukule Amosu, I rise to second the motion that the chairman, Senator Shekarau, should present the report on the screening and confirmation of nominees for chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Senate Committee on Establishment, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. You let the report, distinguished chairman. Chairman, you can present your report. And I'll advise, because it's a big document, I think we can go to the findings, observations, and recommendations so that we can save time. Yeah, we'll start with the introduction, and then the observations, findings, and their recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished senators, you will recall that the Senate at its plenary on Wednesday, December 18, 2019, considered the request of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the confirmation of nominees for appointment as chairman, members of the National Assembly Service Commission, and referred same to the committee for further consideration and screening. Mr. President, the nomination became necessary with the expiration of the tenure of the last commission, which was the third set of commission since the inception of the Commission of the National Assembly. The previous commission was in office for 5 years between 2013 and 2018, which was in line with the provision of Section 3, subsection 6 of the National Assembly Service Act, which says a member of the Commission shall hold office for a period of 5 years from the date of appointment. Mr. President, on page 3 of the report is the list of the nominees. Details of the screening exercise, Mr. President, will be seen on pages 4 up to 34. On page 35, Mr. President, is the observation of the committee. At the end of the screening exercise, the committee deliberated on the nominees' suitability for appointment as chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission and has the following observations and findings. That all the nominees have satisfied the requirements of Section 156 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Section 4 of the National Assembly Service Act of 2014 and Orders 119 and 121 of the Senate Standing Orders 2015 as amended. Our recommendation, Mr. President, beginning from page 36, the Committee on Establishment and Public Service, having screened the nominees, carefully scrutinized their credentials and was satisfied with their performances, experiences, qualifications, and competence, and do hereby recommend that the Senate do confirm the nominations of the underlisted persons as chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission, listed from 1 to 12. However, the committee recommends the committee recommends that another person should be nominated to fill the southeast slot from Imo State, who declined the nomination, in person of Nnamdi Onyehi. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of the committee, I wish to most sincerely thank the Senate for the opportunity to serve in this regard. Mr. President, I shall submit.
Any comments, please? Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, having heard from the committee chairman in a very brief and well-presented report, I move that the chair move to not plenary, move to committee of the whole to consider the report.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate resolves to committee of the whole to consider the report, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, at this stage we will do approval. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Engineer Ahmed Kadi MCS for appointment as Chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Baba Gana Modu for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Abubakar Tutare for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Hakeem Akamo for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Motunrayo Akinto Mide for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Francis Atano Meyovwe for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Etubasi Oloshegun for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Honorable Biliamin Yusuf Shinkafi for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Sani Saidu Kazaure for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Julius Ucha for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Awalu Aliyu Ohindase for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Maazu Ishaq for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, I will put the question on the other nominee, the only nominee who did not turn up for screening, and we will negative it. So will the Senate approve the nomination of Namdi Anyahi for appointment for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I move that the chair moves back to plenary to report progress. I so move.
I so second.
Those in favor that the chair reports progress say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Senator Julius Ucha for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Honorable Aliyu Ohindase for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Sani Saidu Kazaure for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission and approved the nominations of one Engineer Ahmed Kadi Amshi as chairman, Babagana Modu member, Senator Abubakar Tutare member, Senator Hakim Akamo member, Torayo Akintomide member, Atano Mayor Yorwi Francis member, Engineer Basu Etuk member, Honorable Yaminu Yusuf Shinkafi member, Sani Saidu Kazaure member, Senator Julius Ucha member, Awalu Aliyu Ohindase member, Maazu Ishaq member, as chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission, and the Senate stood down the approval of the nomination of Namdi Anyachi. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Confirmation. Will the Senate approve? Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Engineer Ahmed Kadi Amshi for appointment as chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Engineer Ahmed Kadi Amshi as chairman is hereby confirmed as chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Babagana Modu for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Babagana Modu is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Abubakar Tutare for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Abubakar Tutare is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Hakim Akamo for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Hakim Akamo is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Torayo Akintomide for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Torayo Akintomide is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Atano Mayowi Francis for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Atano Mayowi Francis is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Engineer Basi Etuk for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Engineer Basi Etuk is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Honorable Bilyaminu Yusuf Shinkafi for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Honorable Bilyaminu Yusuf Shinkafi is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Sani Saidu Kazaure for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Sani Saidu Kazaure is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Senator Julius Ucha for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Senator Julius Ucha is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Awolu Aliyu Ohindase for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Awolu Aliyu Ohindase is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Muazu Ishaq for appointment as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission? Those in favor will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Muazu Ishaq is hereby confirmed as a member of the National Assembly Service Commission. Distinguished colleagues, let me thank you most sincerely for this, particularly the chairman and committee on establishment and service matters, for doing a very thorough and wonderful job and a very good time too. We pray that the newly confirmed members, chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission will swing into action as soon as they get their appointment letters. We have not had this the Service Commission in place for a long time in the National Assembly Service Commission, and it's affecting the operations of the National Assembly. So we pray that God Almighty will lead them and guide them to discharge their responsibilities and mandate thoroughly to the benefit of the National Assembly and indeed this nation. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, my highly respected and distinguished colleagues, the third order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Communications on screening of the following persons for appointment as chairman and member of the Nigerian Communication Commission. However, Mr. President, in the absence of the chairman of the committee, Senator Remi Tinubu, and my failure to get my hands on her deputy, I will. But I was looking well, and I now seek the indulgence of the Senate and its approval for the consideration to continue on the following persons. The number one is Professor Adeolu Akande, Chairman, Southwest. Number two, Uche Onwude, Member, Southeast. Distinguished senators will recall that the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 29th January 2020. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Deputy Chairman of the Committee on Communications in the person of Senator Bomoy to present the report. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Ibrahim Bomi.
With your permission, I will lay the report, then consider okay, lay and consider the report.
Okay. Senator Albert Bassi, second, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My distinguished and reserved colleague, Senator Albert Bassi, Akwaba North, Mr. President, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Vice Chairman, Committee on Communications, that the Senate do receive and consider the report on the screening of nomination for the confirmation of the presidential nominees to the governing board of the NCC. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Senate Committee on Communications, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished, you can lay the report, please. You can present the report, but maybe after you can summarize it, just like the Committee on Establishment did.
Let me go straight to the introduction. The Senate at its sitting on Wednesday, 29th January 2020, considered the request from the President for the confirmation of two nominees, the chairman and the member of the Governing Council of the NCCE. And in consonance with the provision of the Act 8 subsection 1 of the NCCE, the committee, the committee met to screen the nominees. On page 2 is the list of the existing board members. On page 3, we have the details, CV of the two nominees. On page 4 and 5, also is the details of the nominees. On page 6, we have the recommendation. After exhaustive deliberation and scrutiny of the CVs of the supporting documents of the two nominees, and having satisfied with their qualification, experience, stability, competence, and ability, the committee hereby recommends to the Senate to confirm the nominee as chairman and member, respectively, of the governing board of the NCC. They are Professor Adeola Akande, chairman and non-executive commissioner. Then the second, Mr. Uche Wondo, member and executive commissioner. Prayer the Senate do approve the recommendation of the committee.
I so move.
Any comments? Senator Adeola.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very, very distinguished colleague. Mr. President, let me commend the committee for at least the job they have done so far. Mr. President, my own comment is on the chairmanship of the governing of the NCC. The chairman that we are about to replace is a fellow comrade in person of Senator B. Duro Jaye. Senator B. Duro Jaye is the chairman of the NCC for just 3 years out of 5 years tenure. He was not given the opportunity even to resign or to leave his appointment. All he has to do is to be heard on the news that he has been removed as NCC chairman. When the man approached me and said this and this has been done to him, he is not asking to be returned to be the chairman, at least for dignity's sake, that he be allowed to resign officially rather than just being sacked just like that. And I feel this was communicated to the committee accordingly. But just for record, that Senator Duro Jaye is one of us.
Yes.
And if he's being embarrassed as a distinguished fellow of these chambers, I think it's only right and proper to do what is needful to correct whatever injustice might have felt that has been done to him. I so submit.
The distinguished Olamilekon, you know, the Senate did not initiate the nomination. The Senate received the nomination from Mr. President. The initial nomination of the former chairman was done by the executive. The Senate only confirmed at that time. So the issue of whether to have the opportunity to resign is entirely not in the hands of the Senate. However, I really sympathize with the situation, but I want to remind you that the prerogative of nominations rests with Mr. President. This Senate will always try to ensure that there is adherence to due processes. But I believe that this is a matter that can best be sorted out in the presidency rather than in the Senate. I really sympathize with the situation. And of course, as someone who served here, the former chairman, we identify with his cause because we all belong to the same group, because we are serving senators today, tomorrow we will not be here. So with this, I want to put I want to call the Senate leader for the Senate resolution to come to the hall. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clearing that cobweb. With this, I would like to move a motion for the Senate to resolve into the Committee of the Whole to consider the report. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate resolution to Committee of the Whole to consider the report, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Approval. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Professor Adeolu Akande for appointment as Chairman, Non-Executive Commissioner of the Nigerian Communications Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mr. Uche Onwude for appointment as a member and non-executive commissioner of the Nigerian Communications Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Highly respected colleagues, I move that the Senate resolve into plenary to report progress.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Those in favor that the Senate reverse to plenary for the charge to report progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Communications on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Chairman and Member of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, and approved the nominations of Professor Adeolu Akande as Chairman and Mr. Uche Onwude as Member of the Nigerian Communications Commission. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Professor Adeolu Akande for appointment as Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Professor Adeolu Akande is hereby confirmed as Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mr. Uche Onwude for appointment as a member of the Nigerian Communications Commission? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. the nomination of Mr. Uche Oude is hereby confirmed as a member of the Nigerian Communications Commission. Distinguished colleagues, thank you very much for the endurance, and I think at this point we will have to adjourn. But before we do that, the leader, please stand down the consideration of other items on the order paper.
Thank you, Mr. President. My highly respected and distinguished colleagues, I want to thank you for the very hard work that we have embarked upon today, and we are closing later than usual. With that, Mr. President, I would like to move that this Senate step down all other items on the order paper for another legislative day. I so move, Mr. President.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reluctantly, because I'm still very ready for us to continue to stay here, to go on, but I chose second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that we stand down the consideration of the remaining items on the order paper, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate is hereby adjourned till tomorrow, Thursday, the 6th day of February 2020 at 10 a.m. prompt.